Hi everyone, welcome to this afternoon's session at the LSX Nordic Conference. My name's Angela Tyrrell, I'm part of the LSX team. I'm very excited to introduce you to this afternoon's speaker. We have a wonderful session coming up for you. So this afternoon, I'm really pleased to present Mark Lorenzo from the Iowa Economic Development Authority, who's going to be talking about opportunities in Iowa's Onehealth sector, particularly looking at location advantages for Nordic and European countries in the Midwest, in the Midwest. So without further ado, I will hand over to you, Mark.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you, Angela. It's a pleasure to be here at the LSX Nordic Congress this year. I wish it was live. I'm sure you've heard that a few times already, but I would add mine as well. And greetings from the US to those listening across the Atlantic. And as always, it's great to extend our Iowa warm welcome and our interest in trade and investment and, if you will, social exchange from our great friends and allies in the Nordic area. So thank you again, Angela. It's a pleasure for me to share my screen. I'm going to go through a few talking points on the state of Iowa as a location advantage. Let me go ahead and start that. All right. So once again, my name is Mark Lorenzo. I work for the State Economic Development Authority. We work directly for our governor. And obviously on behalf of the Onehealth sector, we feel that Iowa has many location advantages, not only as a marketplace, but as a place to do business. First of all, our value proposition includes a low cost of doing business, our central location in North America for efficient transportation logistics. We also have an extensive investment in renewable energy. We're one of the leading places in North America for that. I'll talk about that as well. We're interested in research and development. We have a refundable research and development activities credit. Now, let me actually go back there. Apologize for that. We value research and R&D and innovation and support it with a number of programs, including a refundable tax credit. So for companies in the early stage pre-revenue who are finishing their processes and products, this would be a place for you to do that. We also work directly with companies to assist them doing business and landing in North America and realize that the initial investment, the initial OPEX is rather lengthy and costly. Well, here's where Iowa is located, literally in the center of North America. So we have the added advantage of being at the crossroads of our north-south and east-west interstates. Which allow us rapid transport. These circles are meant to illustrate a one-day's truck drive for the standard truck driver. So again, as you can see for your logistics and transportation, being located in the center of North America has its advantages. And within one day's drive by truck, we have 8 states, over 35 million population, and probably $7 to $8 billion even in today's economy worth of purchasing power. So not only can you find our location quickly across North America, you can send large goods up the river, as many companies do, up the Mississippi by barge, large building pieces, large reaction vessels, that sort of thing. Can be very advantageous to utilize the river. And then, of course, traffic down and our way to access the rest of the world by sending our products through the ports which have just survived another hurricane. Iowa is an agricultural state. Why is this important? For the Onehealth marketplace, not only do we have an incredible opportunity to serve this marketplace, but it is literally in your backyard. We're one of the leading states for production of agriculture, crops, and animals, and a large exporter as well. Well, why is this important? We take those grains and we feed it to animals. We rank #1 in red meat production. So producing swine, producing dairy, producing poultry is a huge operation in our state. And again, so the need for animal health, animal vaccines, and immunotherapeutics, very important. Precision agriculture, of course, is the way of the future and a way to deliver nutrients, inputs with a minimal, if you will, byproducts, minimal other effects, negative effects, if you will. These companies are leading the way in measuring the way that we deliver inputs, deliver nutrients, and also measure plants as they're going through their growth cycles. We have companies like Lely, which is the world's originator in automated milking parlors for dairy, which is a big deal in our state as well. Companies like Valent, which are producing biorational products to replace petroleum-based fertilizers, pesticides, and fungicides. The biosciences is a big sector in our state with leading jobs, a lot of research jobs and expenditures. Part of the advantage of our tax credit program is that it rewards investment in early stage. And the Onehealth concept, as you may be familiar with, is a way to recognize that we're connected, the human health sector, animal health, and the environmental impacts and its impacts on human health. Never more apparent during this past 70+ weeks, if you will, of the coronavirus pandemic. So in Iowa, we take a view of that. And we have leaders, including our two major research universities, University of Iowa and Iowa State University. We also have a number of companies that are leaders in producing products for nutritional value, for recreational value as well. These leaders, as you can see, mostly in the animal health sector, take advantage of the ability to, if you will, lead the marketplace with our large population of animals as well. So we have companies that are looking at new products, new ways to deliver them. We're looking at companies to take, if you will, replace old animal vaccines, old animal inputs, if you will, and replace them with modern. So a little bit more information on our two leading research institutions. The University of Iowa is our human medical school with a large college of pharmacy, college of medicine, a very large teaching hospital and clinic, as well as a translational research and human health clinical trials center for the United States. It also, at the new College of Pharmacy, has the largest FDA-approved CGMP manufacturing space for pharmaceuticals. The University of Iowa traditionally has prepared clinical products, clinical amounts to introduce for clinical trials. It is a formulation center of expertise. They can work with companies early stage to produce these products in a FDA-approved CGMP environment. Apologize for that. I also want to talk about Iowa State University, a large animal health, veterinary medicine, and engineering school with the National Animal Disease Center complex in Ames. We have one of the leading research centers for animal health in the world. And because of this, new products, new processes, new ways to take care of animals are very much on the researchers' minds. And Iowa State University and the University of Iowa have collaborated, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. They've done an excellent job producing and collaborating in the Nano Vaccine Institute, which, as the name suggests, is a therapeutic center looking at nano vaccines for a wide variety of applications. So not only for early stage companies can you produce these products, whether they're through fermentation, whether they are traditional chemical pharmaceuticals. We have the centers to allow you to do plug and play for that operation. Also, as I mentioned, for early stage companies, clinical trials, producing clinical trial amounts, and also an extensive animal research complex, which includes both for animal disease and for animal nutrients as well. As I mentioned, we're interested in research and development and rewarding innovation in our state. So not only for, well, if you will, advanced companies, companies like Vertex, which partnered with the University of Iowa to develop cystic fibrosis drugs very successfully over a number of years. But for these early stage companies, we also have the tools, if you will, for them, such as the University of Iowa Flexible Polymers Rapid Prototyping Center. We also have other, if you will, other expertise in rapid production and prototyping with metal sintering and other metal casting expertise to support early stage companies. We also have funding that will support those companies, both in doing a proof of commercial relevance to scaling up an early stage company, utilizing other funding sources through our federal system, SBIR or NSF funding as well. Because of this, we also reward innovation. We have, as I mentioned, one of the few in the states of a refundable tax credit. So not only is this early stage funding critical, but basically you turn it into cash for an early stage company by receiving full refundability of research activities credit. I did want to mention some of the other supporting, if you will, utilities in Iowa, especially for companies that are interested in low carbon products. We are a leader in renewable wind energy and provide wind energy on an accessible and affordable basis for not only industrial, but commercial uses as well. We have a very well-educated workforce. We tend to rank #1 in high school graduation rate and also in college entrance exams. So our well-educated workforce, not only ready to work, but very used to it and technical skills early on in life. Because of this, we've been attractive as a place for foreign direct investment, part of the reason why I'm on this morning. And again, appreciate your time and interest, and certainly interested in any questions that you might have. To wrap up, just to, if you will, summarize our value proposition for companies that are exporting both outside North America and across North America. We're a very excellent location for that. I've left my contact information, certainly have time for any questions. And if not, we'll certainly look forward to speaking to you in the future. Thanks again, Angela and LSX, for the opportunity to present at Nordic Congress. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark, for that wonderful and engaging presentation. I do have a few questions actually to follow up.
Okay.
The first is, you touched on the renewable energy. Really, really exciting and great to see that's something you guys are investing in so heavily. Can you give our audience any indication of how they might be able to, how that works in practice, how for
Right.
something like manufacturing, that's something they could use?
Yeah, the simplest answer is you plug in your extension cord. It's really, it is available. It's available broadly. We've had a great investor, a utility, Mid-American Energy, which is a Berkshire Hathaway company, which has really embraced renewable energy. And Iowa's a very windy place. So across the plains here, we've taken advantage of that. So really all you need to do is locate here. In fact, I just received my own personal energy bill. And there's a nice wheel in there that shows me that 80% of the energy that I'm using is renewable from wind energy. So this is something our Iowa Utility Board will actually certify for a company. So for companies looking at their life cycle analysis, they want low energy inputs and are really interested in, taking raw materials, adding value to them, and doing it in a green and sustainable manner, then we have a great manufacturing location for that.
Fantastic. And we have a lot of, I suppose, early stage companies at this meeting. Do you have access to things like accelerator programs or research parks that they might be able to benefit from?
Yes, really our three universities, the University of Northern Iowa, in addition to Iowa State and University of Iowa, all have accelerator programs. They're rather sophisticated and have some length to them. So there's been a lot of success there. We've seen companies grow up and expand and now become part of Agilent Technologies or something else. So it really is an opportunity for companies to do that. Also, the stage gate funding that we have for these companies, realizing they're pre-revenue and things like tax credits are good for established companies, but having cash, having a research and development tax credit that acts like cash, is fungible like cash, is appealing to companies as well. So I think that we have other accelerators, both private and private public ones as well, agricultural focused, fintech and insurtech, if you will, focused, and then agritech, as you might expect as well.
Fantastic. And you also touched on the manufacturing services at the University of Iowa. How do companies access that?
Right. So especially our three universities really are strong in working with industry. They have dedicated staff and programs to focus on working with companies, everything from setting up a factory and looking at factory flow to one-off, if you will, very specific research engagements. But we're proud to have some of the largest prototyping equipment in the United States to assist companies. We build a lot of equipment here. We have this is an agricultural equipment and construction place. We also have great fermentation technologies from some great Danish companies that are operating nearby and providing products as well. So these are all very, if you want to say, very sophisticated science, can be delivered in a partnership, and there are programs to support those activities as well.
Fantastic. And you touched on Danish companies. We are at the Nordic conference. So one final question, I suppose, do you have a message for Nordic countries specifically about why Iowa is a great place for them to do business?
Yeah, I think so. As world leaders in sustainability and certainly, if you will, green products, sustainable products, and taking advantage of natural environment, natural products, raw materials. These are things that we're not only do we have great settlement from that part of the world as part of our history and have been great farmers and agriculturalists here for many years, that your investment and trade is welcome. This is a part of the world that welcomes you, that extends our hand in friendship, recognizes our friends and allies for many years, and certainly interested in engaging in any discussion. So I think that what you would find is especially for companies from the Nordic areas, that you find energy very, very available and very competitively priced. And based on that and the way that companies in this part of the world address sustainability and, if you will, the future generation of manufacturing, I think there'd be a lot of interest in learning more about Iowa.
Fantastic. Well, you certainly make me feel very energized with that very warm presentation. So thank you.
Thank you.
So Mark, I'll just ask you to stay on the line, please. But to our audience, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. Do feel free to get in touch with Mark directly if you have follow-up questions. And do make sure that you check out the Iowa booth as well. But in the meantime, I'll let you get on with the rest of your program. Thanks once again for watching.